My story begins on a farm in faraway Gruchnia. There were so many birds on this farm, the farmer made a scarecrow. Only he didn't make it right, so naturally it didn't scare away any birds. The farmer's kids decided to fix it up. They could have given it a scary face and iron earrings, but instead they gave it a sad face. They could have dressed it in bright clothes that would flash in the sun, but no. The only scary thing they gave it was a name. Demon Dan. Demon Dan. Well, Demon Dan wasn't too happy. That night he couldn't sleep. He thought to himself,
I wish I was a dog. Spotty can scare birds by just barking at the moon. But I'm just a stack of straw. I have to wait for the wind to move my arms and legs. Ah, what's the use? I couldn't scare birds even if I could run and bark. I wish I could just blow away and disappear.
Which is exactly what happened. The wind picked up Demon Dan and carried him away from the farm, and from the farmer who had made him so badly, and from the farmer's kids who had given him the wrong name, and from the fields he was supposed to guard, and from the birds he was supposed to scare. He blew away, but he didn't disappear. The next morning he was still in one piece. He could move his arms, his back, his head. He rubbed his eyes, and the first thing he heard was,
Hello, are you running away too? What is your name, please? I bet you are a scarecrow, right?
Well, I am a scarecrow, but I can't scare any crows.
They call me Slim, but I'm fat.
My first name is Demon Dan, but I'm not a demon, and I don't want to be one.
Yeah? Well, my last name is Tremble Nose, but it's a funny thing. My nose don't tremble.
Yeah? That's bad. Ooh!
Did you see a fat rabbit?
How do? Can't say I did.
You sure you're not hiding a rabbit, Hayseed? Shoot! Now get away from that rabbit, buddy, if you want to stay in one piece, you hear me? I said get away from that rabbit.
Ooh.
Wise guy.
Oh.
You won't have a straw left by the time I get through with you. Do you?
Take that. Go on. Where?
You don't fight fair.
Gee, Demon Dan, you're some fighter. Can I be your friend? Can I go with you?
Sure, but I don't know where I'm going.
That's okay. We'll go there together. I don't want to go home until I can learn how to make my nose tremble. Hey, Demon Dan, look at that mouse on the raft.
As soon as he saw it, Demon Dan stepped forward. He didn't even think. He threw into the stream the first thing he could lay his hands on. And again, without thinking, he jumped into it and waded into the middle. It came as naturally as if he'd done it every day of his life.
Hi, Mousy.
I'm not a mousy.
Oh? Yeah? Then who are you?
Thanks, friend. I'm a world explorer. Who are you?
Nah, I'm a helper-outer. I help out fellas.
His name is Dan. Dan Helper-Outer. Want to travel with us?
I'll lead the way.
Let's go.
That's how Demon Dan Scarecrow got a new name. All three of them changed names. Mousy decided a good name for a world explorer was Sir Lawrence. And Slim the Rabbit decided that he would like to be called J. Edgar Hardy because his nose never trembled, no matter how hard things got. Suddenly, they heard a strange noise far away in the forest. Naturally, Dan ran ahead to see if someone needed help. It was the farmer's kids, the same kids who gave Dan his funny face and sad outfit. Dan hoped they would like him better now, but somehow or other he looked just, and this time there was no wind to pick him up and carry him away.
Hey, don't be scared. It's just Demon Dan Scarecrow. I wish you weren't an old scarecrow, 'cause we're lost and we need help now.
Oh, don't cry. I'm not a scarecrow. I'm a helper outer. Watch me make a bed. How's that? Now, don't worry. I'll stay awake while you're sleeping, and tomorrow I'll take you home.
Sir Lawrence found a path through the woods, which they named the Sir Lawrence Woods Way. He said it would take them home, and he was right. The farmer's kids were so amazed and happy and sorry and grateful, all at the same time, they fell all over themselves. But Dan had to think about his friends now. And when Spotty came, he almost lost them. Except Spotty had never seen a rabbit like J. Edgar Hardy, whose nose didn't tremble no matter how hard things got. And so they became friends and learned to sit down at the same table together. Dan settled down in the orchard, where he didn't have to scare birds anymore. In fact, he made friends with a bird. He helps her out once a year, in the springtime.